Saturday, the 28th of September 2024. The time just gone about 16 minutes past 3 in the afternoon in Birmingham, England. We are here today in defense of to defend the voice editor, the reporter, and the fundamental freedom of free speech. And this is about, I know it's not, it's a very, very familiar topic right now, it's trending. This is about the President Adama Barrow intimidating the Voice newspaper due to what the Voice newspaper have reported, sourced that he's on an exit strategy and trying to get Mohammed Jah, the businessman, to replace him. And they said it was sourced from people who are close to power. Now, Adam Barrow went on. CDCC came over. CDCC, the administrative secretary of the NPP, the Barrow's party, came out and denied the report. It went on. It went on for the next day. President Barrow legal representative Ida Drame wrote a letter threatening to take legal action against against the Voice newspaper editor Musa S. Sirif and the reporter Modu J. Dabo. And within the 24 hours, the police, IGP of police, invited Musa S. Sirif and Modu J. Dabo, and until now, we know that was on a Friday, if I'm right, or Thursday, if I'm right, they are still detained. Since Thursday, they're still detained. And for questioning for what, we don't know. But apparently they have been charged, but they're still not released for false reporting or sort of, one of the IJMA laws. Now, why is it important to raise this or to come out and defend the journalist, the newspaper itself, the journalists, and for freedom of speech? This is something very important. I know people are going out there to say, oh, Adama Barrow is tolerant, which is completely not the case, but I'll come to that. And the journalists, did they commit a crime? Not absolutely. It's a freedom of speech. What they have said, it's not defaming Adama Barrow. It shouldn't be hurtful to Adama Barrow. It's not, this is not Adama Barrow's private life. This is our president, someone that we feed, someone we take care of, someone we pay a salary and everything, take care of his family. He is one of the presidents right now that gets so much of benefit among African presidents. In fact, we don't talk about the developed world. We all know how it works. That person, and this is our democracy. It's our rule of law. He's not above the law. And it's democracy. People have the fundamental freedoms to express themselves. Journalists have to report. And they have reported this responsible. And I'll come to that to prove that that's where my defense would be. If a journalist, this is not new information anyway. When many Gambians have talked about this, many Gambians, and Adama Barrow have talked about it, and I'll prove that. Now a newspaper come out, they had this information, they went and verify, you deny it, they came and said, look, this is what happened, well, what we had from our sources. It's nothing apart from part of the process of democracy. A sitting president, two-term. Now, in fact, they should have owned up to that. That's what we expect of a responsible head of state, that you have a strategy to exit power. You could deny it. You could have just kept quiet. But we ask ourselves, why did Barrow, react the way he reacted? This is where Gambians should be very worried. Why Barrow reacted the way he reacted, to the point of going to a legal. Barrow knew that this would be civil case if there's a case. He knew that. That's why he went to a private lawyer, his lawyer. And unfortunately, the lawyer is one of those that doesn't care about democracy, doesn't care even about his client. What she care about is what she gets. Because any lawyer with integrity, knowing where we've been, coming through a transition we did not have, you will not encourage that president to be, taking legal action because someone asked or someone have stated that they are about to leave after they spend 2 terms. The best advice would be, sir, it's best to leave this alone, and by tomorrow will not be talked about again. Something will come up. But now, since the legal action, we are talking about this. The international is aware of this and is going. And the time this happened, President Barrow that's why we should be very worried. When you, this speech was already written for you, making claims that are unfactual, that, oh, we have not jailed, we have not did this to free, activists, journalists, or politicians, which is untrue. Right now, the chairman of Brikama Area Council has been prosecuted, and we know it's politically motivated. And how many other people? But at the time you were making that statement at the United Nations, you are actually committing the crime that you said your government doesn't commit. Then, the likes of Ida Drame, history will judge. When history will be narrated on issues, and this is where she stood, because of, in fact, for the interest of his client, of our client, his advisor don't. But she would not do that. But I am in support, in solidarity with the journalists, and I hope they will stand as they are standing and take this to trial, and we see how this would be prosecuted. We'll get to the police issue in a minute. Now, we all know that people will quote, oh, there's a limitation in freedoms. Of course, the only time that you are, the limitation will come in if it is against, it's going to cost. What is this going to cost? Because of you have reported, I'm not going to use the word speculation, it's not speculation, it's fact, because I'm going to prove that it's fact. I'm going to bring the evidence. Reported that the president have an exit strategy, and Mr. Ja is the person he is proposing to succeed him. Succession planning. How can that be dangerous? What would that cause? No, Barrow believes that that's against him. You see, again, that's another point we should be very noteful of. Barrow is not mad that Nawek have completely gone bankrupt. Yes. Owing Car Power, 10 million. Owing Senelec, 15 million. And that will be another program. They're trying to get money to fill this, plug this gap, but they're spending more money, in fact, rather than trying to save money to plug this gap. He's not angry about that. But he would not be angry about that because it's the cause of that, that bankruptcy, because of the corruption that he is partaking in taking kickbacks from Car Power and the procurement deals that are happening in Nawek, that he is taking part with some of the people around him. He will not be angry about that. He's not mad. He's not angry that his government have failed. And the continued I mean, the amount of young people taking this back way, he's not and dying, especially this week. How many Gambians are reported dead? He's not angry about that. He will not be angry about that because his government is not doing nothing to stem that flow. They're not doing nothing to stem that flow. But in fact, what they're doing is the ones that are already there, they're not trying to find ways to support them in there. No, they're agreeing to repatriate them without any support for those people to be reintegrated in back home. But he can be angry in a democracy. Someone who someone who was elected on a transition for 3 years, who went around the country to campaign that he was just going to lead a transition of 3 years, which he have agreed on, who took a manifesto to the IEC, which said that he's a transitional president candidate, served 3 years. He went against all that. He served a term, full term, and serving a second term. And during the time, serving that second term, or appointing to serve the second term, he said he was not going to serve more than 2 terms. We are going to prove that. Now, why is that person angry that someone is talking about that? Why is someone angry that newspaper put a headline that he's building an exit strategy? This is the question Gambians should ask themselves. It can be only 2 things. One, he have renegated and let people that come out, but the Constitution did not. Look, the Constitution is not a perfect document. Constitution try to build a framework that we work with. Democracy have been here for a long time. And when you are a good person, you don't follow the law, just to the letter, you follow it to the spirit of that law. You know, when someone said that, I'm a good person because of I don't steal, because if I steal, people would know, if I'm caught, this is what's going to happen to me, people will not know, then you are a good person. You don't steal, you shall not steal. You don't even think about stealing. But you don't, if you think that, if you say that, what is stopping you from stealing is because of the law that, or the punishment, you are already a bad person. In democracy, especially developing countries, developing democracies. This is mainly for developing democracies. The reason I'm saying developing democracies, this is why even America for so long they said, because we all know how America's democracy evolved. That's why they needed the 2 term. And we see them still struggling with their democracy. The reason United Kingdom we don't have a 2 term, because it's based on our how it depends on how our democracy evolves. We change regardless of term limits, and it's proven to work. There's no point to change it. If you talk about 2 terms in a United Kingdom to put it in, it's like you are taking us back. You are telling us we have to measure it by terms. No. We do it by the person concerned, or the people standing up to say, no, you're going to be impeached, or we are going to vote against you to get out. Or you have failed, you have to resign. We can't wait for a term to finish. That's how mature that democracy has evolved, not in the Gambia. That's 2 terms are very important in this transition that we are in. But now, Gambians should, this is what the Gambians should think of, that now then Barrow want to entrench himself. Barrow to entrench himself. Before coming there, let me just come to this point of tolerance. It's proven that Barrow is not tolerant. And for people to measure that what people are speaking, that's people speaking is not guaranteed by Barrow. It's guaranteed by our constitution. Yes, that constitution that we say is a bad constitution, guaranteed that freedom. It's not Barrow. Left to Barrow, he has proven himself many times. Left to Barrow, he has proven himself many times. First, people tend to forget that. 2017, earlier part of 2017, Barrow came out mad because of Khalifa said that we had a regime change, we did not have a system change. They went and sent a communique. And people started to disturb, no, it's not Barrow, Barrow is not like that, it's Alcalde Conte, it's someone else, or it's this guy person. I mean, people that were around said it was Barrow that was mad about it, and that's why they went and put a press release attacking Khalifa Saleh for saying we didn't have we just have a system, we just had a regime change, a system change. It went on. Now the person following him as a tail, Dr. Cisse, who was a university lecturer, political science, made comments on Freedom Radio and share his expert opinion, I don't know whether to call that expert opinion anymore, about the state of affairs in a transition. Guess what? We saw Barrow come out so angry. He was shaking, attacking Dr. Cisse for having an opinion. It went on many other things. He always, Madi Jabate, and the statement he made on political rallies, attacking Talib Bensouda, attacking Lawyer Dabo, attacking anybody that he feels that is not supporting him. Why do people think that that person is tolerant? A tolerant person is like Sadauda. To his face, he goes to school, speed day, to his face, students will agitate him. He goes in public, places like Bakau, they will agitate him. He will turn around and address that agitation. We remember in Bakau when it was the ragamuffin started, and people used to say, Bo, wicked Bo. For Jawara, Bo, wicked was something, it was of a distress for him. The minute he took onto the podium, first thing Jawara addressed was that he was so much agitated by that Bo, wicked Bo. Selector Bo Wicked, and we all know what Bo Wicked means. It's not the literal meaning. It's obviously saying, we're celebrating the person or whatever you call it. Jawara said that, address the issue saying that I am so disturbed. I am not a wicked person. I know Bo, I don't know what, he said, Malum Bo, what Bo means. But wicked, I am not a wicked person. He have never come up. Yeah, he goes onto this political rally. He makes, he will go out there to make political things on his rivals, but he will not take it personal. To say that because people are speaking, that's what we fought for. That's not bad. If Barrow had the chance, he's trying. He's trying. As I keep saying that if Yahya Jammeh have come in through the ballot box, Jammeh would have been better than Barrow. If Barrow had came through the barrel of the gun, Barrow would be worse than Jammeh. And just to move on, why do I say this? Because for Barrow, the way Barrow came up through the collective, It was not even single political party. It was a collective. Gambians decided enough is enough. We're putting you as a candidate, independent candidate to bring about this. But now you just turn to a dictator. It takes a lot for someone elected popularly to become a dictator. It takes the minute someone overthrew a government, they have already become a dictator because they are dictating. Their group meant thinking that this is what is needed. That person have already become a dictator from day one or during the conspiracy to even to act. Because if they were, arrested during the conspiracy, they have committed an offense. This is the difference what I'm talking about. Now, from there on, you commit a crime, they will continue to commit crimes because the next thing is to suspend the constitution and to say that, but we'll leave the laws of intact. The rule of law will continue. No, you cannot. Suspend a constitution. I expect rule of law. To be done right. That those laws are anchored onto the constitution. That's why that was dictatorship. That's why it's not desired. But a popular, a person elected and turning up a dictator is because of corruption and greed. And this is where we should be very careful about now. Barrow, why did Barrow feel angry to the extent of taking legal action, to the extent of using his brother-in-law? Again, you see, this is why he had his brother-in-law in position. Now, this is two things because he wants to stay on. Now he wants to stay on. And I'll explain what have led to this. Two, now the association with Mohammed Jah, he doesn't like people to be talking about that. Because of the corruption he and Mohammed Jah are involved in. Mohammed Jah helping him to build that generational wealth. You see, that's brought us back to the property that Mohammed Jah is building for Barrow, which was going to be his retirement home. We'll come to that. That comes to the OIC vehicles. When we are desperate, the school maintenance fund, schools, basic schools, or you call them, maintenance fund, they don't have it for this for this term. But they for 2 days summit, they can spend almost over half a billion, $750 million. They can spend that because of what Barrow gets from it, what Mohammed Jah gets from it. And we also, what happened in China, instead of bringing creating an environment for the private sector, it was time to sell Mohammed Jah, because if Mohammed Jah gets wealthier, Barrow gets wealthier. This is why Barrow is angry by pointing out Mohammed Jah. Pointed out Mohammed Jah. But again, the other thing he's angry about, he doesn't want Gambians to talk about him going out. Now he's going to try to stay in power. How is he going to do that? We'll talk about that. It's up to Gambians to stop that. Because of this to support the journalists, Musa Sirif and Modu J. Dabo, Justice Dabo, that what they said is not speculation, it's fact. I am going to give you a background why I said it's fact. But before going there, let me just say this about Barrow wanting to stay in power. Because he tried everything. Now he is stuck. He's stuck. Barrow wanted to leave power. That's why I'm going to explain that. He wanted to leave power before, for many reasons. One, his health condition, challenging. He needed, when I talked about this years ago, most people, the evidence wasn't out there, but someone who was there, what's his name? Ibrahim Diba. Is it Ibrahim Diba? UDP guy, who was at Saudi Arabia, who was present when the Barrow fell down, came out recently when Barrow insulted Usainu Dabo and wished him dead, and to say that these things have happened. But there are many. He needed this medical, to take care of himself medically, and they are trying to manage that. But that was one of the reasons he should leave. Two was because of the challenging factors that he cannot continue due to the support that is required, because the transitional justice and everything else, to justify, going against the wishes of the people, which is 2 terms, because the draft 2020 constitution was about 2 terms, and everything else would be difficult. And to get that support is critical for him to do it, and the support is not there. To the extent, Ibrahim Adiba, thank you. The extent of, I have said this before, Macky Sall did in fact advise Barrow that don't attempt a third term. This was actually when Macky Sall went through it and realized how difficult it is. And this happened, a conversation that happened, and I keep on telling people, don't ask me how do I know that Barrow had a conversation with Macky Sall in a vehicle, because of Barrow said it. Barrow said it widely in his attire at State House, widely, and he was angry with Macky Sall. Macky Sall said to him, because they were traveling, this was months before Macky Sall left office, during the Senegal-Gambia meeting or summit, you call it. They were traveling, and they came to the OIC development, and he said to Macky Sall, oh, you see what I'm doing? But Macky said to him, don't think of third term, because of the white people will not let you. Macky advised him that. Recently, months ago, when he met with Tinubu, and Tinubu said to him, Tinubu, the president of Nigeria, oh, I hope you are preparing an exit strategy. That too, he didn't like it. How do I know? He said this to people, and those people talk to us. That's why I said, this exit strategy thing is not new. But I'll come to the detail. Now, because of the other factor is, it's not only about his health and the challenges. The other factor was that Barrow is scared of staying in power without economic being in the country. And again, this information came from his how to call it, this security advisor, Abu Jeng. And I'm not going to explain how I get it from Abu Jeng, but it was noted officially. This was Abu Jeng's, Abu Jeng spoke to diplomats about the views of Barrow with economic, because of, I don't want to go long into it. We all know the reason they stopped asking EU to support the presence of economic, the funding, because of the EU was putting a timeline on the exit of economic. They ignored the EU, and they went to France for France to fund ECOWAS, and ECOWAS to keep economic in the Gambia. This is how they did that. Now, thinking about this, Barrow said to him, technically Barrow is not comfortable with this thing, but that's why we want economic to stay until we implement the transitional justice programs, the trial of Jammeh and others. This was about just after the elections. Now, what they're trying to do is, that's why they're delaying things to make it run to the end of term of Barrow. That's what they want, so that they can still have excuse. But something new have come about. Why would Barrow now? Two things Barrow have done with this. One, the issue about his health. This is why Barrow applied for a hospital to be built for him. And if Gambians are not careful, we'll have the case of, this is what his Barrow thinking is, to stay as much as possible until he have his successor. Most probably someone he trusts, and that trust will be a family member. In the case what we have seen in other African countries, in Cameroon, in Gabon, and other places. That's one. He's trying to get the hospital in the state house, one, to address this health problem. Two, the issue about the challenges. He's ready to spend much as possible to divide Gambians. This is why even the draft he proposed is part of the program. Something to make it possible for him to stay. If we accept that draft, then it's kind of a now constitution. I mean, we have agreed to ignore the principles of democracy, the spirit of democracy, and everything for the two-term. Now to legitimize it. Now it will be lesser challenge for him to run than if there's no constitution. To say, if we accept that constitution, we are kind of giving it weight for him to push. And obviously, there are other mechanisms they will try to dismantle the opposition completely, and which they are hoping to get because of the infighting within UDP, that it's going to work. They are putting so much money in it, they're putting so much energy in it to dismantle. Once that resistance is gone, because they have recognized that that's the only resistance they would have, then things will be okay. The third bit is his security with economic. That bit, this is why Gambia government is pushing to send troops to Sierra Leone. The same thing happened in Bissau. If people following the development in Bissau have been saying it, and it has been coming out. The president of Bissau, Mbalo Sissoko, realized his unpopularity and everything. He invented a coup, faked a coup, in order to bring back economic. Sierra Leone, they went through elections. He rigged the elections. He realized how unpopular he is. He have not delivered. He's corrupt as they come, especially the wife. What did they do? They fake a coup, and now they want to bring in economic. You see the precedents Barrow is working at. Now Barrow is working at that same principle. To establish those precedents. Now, if even Senegal pull out, Barrow is going to fabricate a coup in order to justify what Bissau, if Bissau can have it, Sierra Leone can have it, Gambia should have it. And now, because of, they would have, it's a clock. Now to say that we need, in fact, a standby, because they've been talking about this standby force. Now, we will need this to stabilize. This is what they're trying to create. This is what they're trying to create. When the Ghanaian president came recently to lobby Gambia to drop their candidature, Barrow wanted to bargain that candidature of Tangara to the Commonwealth, try to get Ghana to support that position. The Ghanaian president said, no, I cannot. I am about to leave, and it's something I don't think is even advisable. This is why Tangara is continuing his candidature. The Ghanaian president flew all the way to Gambia to lobby that. Now, this is where we are. Why Barrow is scared to leave, we all know. He's corrupt, and he knows that he'll be prosecuted, and the wealth will be taken away. Now, this is the reason why Barrow is mad at this journalist. This reason he's mad at this journalist, reporting that he have an exit strategy. He wants to dampen that. Nobody will talk about exit strategy anymore. As I said, he is ready to, he wants to stay. That's why he wants a hospital at the State House. That's why he wants to send troops in Sierra Leone and to make sure this system stays. But my advice to Gambians is, if especially the leadership Because if I say Gambians, in general, Gambians just don't get up and make decisions. Decisions are led. Decisions are influenced. Gambian people can influence this decision to their political parties, to their political leaders, to any form of leadership we have, civil society and everything. To realize the urgency and the pathway, the danger that we are facing now. Remember, we're supposed to have a transition. We didn't have a transition. What transition means to reform, reconciliation, reforms and so on, and rehabilitate and so on and so forth. We did not have that. We failed in every aspect of reforms. Now the transitional justice is still hanging. It's still hanging. We all know that. And some of these things are deliberate to delay the programs. Now, if we allow the continuity of Barrow, what we are allowing is the stabilization of the Gambia. And if I say destabilization of Gambia, because the minute Barrow, we allow Barrow to stay, Barrow continue to be illegitimized. I keep on saying he did not win the last election, he's illegitimized. That's why he is not confident. If he was legitimate, he was popular, I tell you he would not need Senegalese to guard him. He would not need Senegalese to back him. And if you understand the few Gambians even around State House, how restricted they are, I'm not going to talk about certain things, their security, but how restricted they are, you know how in fear Barrow stays in the country. Now it's up to us to put that pressure on our political leaders, on civil society leaders, whatever it is, to make sure we come together and fix this problem. Because if this continue, Barrow continue to illegitimize himself, he will, this is what dictatorship does. We also have seen what happened in Senegal. When the extent Macky Sall went to stay in power. We see the extent Trump is going to get into power because of that's the only way they can be secure. We have seen the extent that Jammeh went to stay in power because of that's the only way he was secure. And this exit strategy, we should make sure there is a he forced that exit strategy to him. If not, we will destabilize. And if anybody thinks that the presence of economic is a total guarantee, I'm not saying it's not, it doesn't serve a means of preventing, but it's not a total, in totality. In fact, it's in the other way, if you look at it the other way, it is posing as a threat to national security as well now. There's something we call a mission creep. And we've all seen what happened in Afghanistan. You cannot keep troops, occupying troops that long. It's an occupying troop now. This long and without seeing consequences of it. And if they are not an absolute. And the worst thing is if they are present and certain things meant to happen, they will be bloody. I can tell you that. Because they serve as a deterrent to an extent, but if people are really, really desperate or suffer to the extent they want to do something, it will be done. They will attempt it. That's where it's bloody. And I'm saying the people, the Gambian people, we have seen what happened in Mali. People came out, the soldiers hijacked, and other places. I'm not going to go deep in that about security, but I'm telling you, for us, it's not about a political party. This should be about Gambia. And for the people around Barrow, look, I will not bother to tell, because we know the people who they are. The Ismail Assizes, the Modu Sabalis, the Dusanos, and you'll be surprised how much influence these people have in Barrow. Because Barrow wants to hear things that he wants to hear. That's why this guy is not thinking right. The entire thing around Barrow, they're not telling him the truth. They will not tell him the truth because they don't want to be, pushed away by Barrow. They are competing in so-called showing loyalty or encouraging Barrow to prove their loyalty. This is where it's dangerous. They don't tell him the truth. And I have evidence of that. Almost all of those people around Barrow are talking to people and are saying different things that they will not say in front of Barrow. This is how we know everything that goes on. There's no single person around Barrow that tells him the truth. Not the security advisors, not any service chief, not this hanger-on, not the politicians. You see, this is what it creates. We all see what happened to the last part of Jammeh. Nobody will tell him the truth because you dare not tell him the truth. If you do, you know what comes to you. The few people that attempt, we know what happened to them. Where did he end up? Even Jawara. It's not that Jawara would do something to you. Jawara was completely taken over. The infighting and everything and so. Jawara was completely confused when he went to Mansa Konko 1991 to say, I'm going to leave, I'm not going to leave. It was the evidence that for so many years to stay in power after, because everybody wants to protect their interests, not the interests of the nation or even Jawara. There will come a time you need to retire, go and enjoy the other things. Go and do the other things you have given service to this thing. We already have examples. You were there with Senghor. You have seen the examples in other countries. Ghana and others, they all came and gone. You were there with Senghor. Senghor decided to leave. There was an example for you to follow. But no, they will not let you. When he had Andrews Kamara, he sold us in peace. Everybody thought second time Andrews Kamara been selected again as vice president. They thought, oh, that's going to be the successor. Where did they fell out? Even after 81, Andrews Kamara showed the loyalty, stayed in Banjul, took the leadership. They turned around to say that Andrews Kamara want to undermine you. That's why Andrews Kamara is proposing a two-term. Andrews Kamara proposed 2 terms before 1981. They say because he is the vice president, he wants it for himself. No. Jawara could have selected anybody to become a vice president and be the candidate of PPP. Just as Abdou Diouf was, taken from a technocrat position and given the vice presidency. That after 81, Bibi Dabo second term as vice president, everybody said it's Bibi Dabo. They came out. Oh, Bibi Dabo is difficult. Oh, Bibi Dabo is a tribalist. Oh, Bibi Dabo is this. And people who were even saying Bibi Dabo tribalist were Mandinkas. Most of them were. Because of what? They have to belong somewhere. Groups. When Jawara went to Mansa Konko, it was to test who was loyal. Jawara was always taking over. Obviously, Bibi Dao, not because he was the vice president, he said, yeah, I think it's the right decision. He was removed as vice president. Sehu Sabali, who a few years before that took a case to court against Asantix to say that Asantix, for libel. He lost the case. He should have been out or even prosecuted for all those allegations as Asantix brought on. He went and mobilized Council of Elders and ordered this thing to come and beg Jawara, if you leave, the country will be. They were part of the people that were behind it, using Yaya Jammeh, and Yaya Jammeh took it from them. The same person who went round, where the people are behind Yaya Jammeh and the other people. Yaya Jammeh was not the main, should not have been the main benefactor. People that know, That's Sehu Sabali. Jawara moved from being starting to bring young people in cabinet, went and brought all those people that most of those people Sehu Sabali brought in. But in Yaya Sise, who was already retired, went and brought Uncle Kamabaji, all these people were retired back to the city because he trusted. Because they are loyal. That was 91, 94, we have seen what happened. That's why we should be careful. We learn from all this and make sure our democracy work. Our democracy work. But Barrow should not be given this chance. Why? Let me move on. Time is gone now. I have to do this a little bit quick. Now, let me give you the evidence of why this is a fact. The journalist said a fact. In 2021, before the elections, the information came out that they said, people from very distant said, look out for this. He said, oh, Barrow is not going to run for another term. If Barrow wins this election, it will be his last term. I said to them, I don't believe that. I said to them, I work, logically with, evidence. I said, the reason Barrow, really went against draft constitution is because he wants to run again. They said, no, he is not running. I said, then why? Give me something, and they explained. They explained to me about the challenges, his health challenges, that he really needed attention. They said, give me a lot of evidence that we looked at. There were evidence around him and everything else. People close to him, there's a way to verify certain things. There's a way if you know how to verify. Then talk about the transitional justice, how difficult it will be with him. And the other thing was his security. He doesn't think that because of this, the security reform have failed, he's not secure. He doesn't feel secure. He doesn't want to be here, but he's trying to find a successor. And they said to me that there are people within NPP, and one of the person involved who was not a Gambian was Kalulu Wage. He said to me, Kalulu Wage and some elements of the NPP are trying to get Boisedi, the central bank governor, to run, to be a successor for Barrow. They have promised him that they'll work and get him to be the successor of Barrow. I said, okay, let's look at that. I said, no. I believe that all this talk is just to get Barrow. People to, put it to people so that people say, okay, let's just vote Barrow for second term and that will be the end of it. I said, no. If we cross the line, it's going to change. They said, no, it's not going to change. I'm telling you this, look at this. And said, go and look into it. I went to look into it. Certain evidence I had on Boisedi working on to be successor of Barrow. Bois came with some popularist policies at the central bank, and some strategic move he was doing to position himself. One, you know, when Bois came to say, oh, capital markets and those nonsense, Bois knew that that was nonsense. That's why since you don't hear about that capital market anymore, that Gambians, that was nonsense, premature nonsense. But that was a popularist policy. Two, social responsibility. Nobody ever heard of a central bank talking about corporate social responsibility. That was a vehicle to get the popularity and to get a leverage, political leverage. He said, oh, they're going to rehabilitate, central bank going to get involved in rehabilitating police barracks, rehabilitate hospitals. The people who were part of trying to get Boisedi as a candidate was the former IGP, now Interior Minister, Abdullah Saina. One. But he is too a business partner of Boisedi because they had these businesses as part of, to finance their position. Two, Lamin Sedikan, contractor, who was given the contract for the Edward Transfer Hospital. These were an orders. There was a third person, a I am saying this, as it is, a non-Mandinka, because they selected that person, a non-Mandinka who was a former civil servant, now a business executive, to do an exploration mission trying to get some elites, Wolof and other non, especially Wolofs, to build a kind of a support, leverage support for Buasidi. They went on working that. Modu Sabali coming to NPP is more ingenious. The person who engineered this thing was, the former IGP. When he was arrested last year, this time, during that arrest, that's when they started to work on him. Boasidi and others put in money. That was one. It went on, Boasidi quieting because of what something surprised. But this was not Barrow proposing Boasidi, no. It was some former UDP members within NPP who were proposing Boasidi, trying to get Boa as a candidate. Because of what? The choice for Barrow was Sow, SIS Sow, Usman Sow. Choice for Barrow was SIS Usman Sow. Because of Barrow wants to leave. And Barrow, that's why Barrow brought Usman Sow to cabinet as Minister of Lands and local government at lands. Unfortunately for him, he became ill and he withdrew. So was the first choice. Because of, if you understand the relation between Sow and Barrow, they know each other before, very close, before Barrow became a president. Sow have delivered a lot. Have delivered. I'll take my time and Sow have delivered what? The finances from Saudi Arabia. They are the continuation of Jammeh Islamization project. Sow headed that mission. Sow went to, I know of witnesses, when they went to Saudi, the money put in bags and brought back to the Gambia. This is when Barrow was saying that I'm going to build 100 mosques, I'm going to build women's garden, I'm going to do this. And that's why Saudi built this, rebuilt the State House Mosque, built a mosque at NIA headquarters. Saudi sponsored the NIA training grounds in Lamin, and others and others. It was from that money. Sow brought that money. Not only that, the control of the drug cartels. The same operation Sow did for Jammeh. Sow controlled that access. The biggest one was the election fraud. Sow was head of the election fraud, his intelligence, with some Senegalese intelligence. He trusted him. This is why Sow went into cabinet, and strategic position was local governments to start to build political leverage. But not only that, go and Google, see the activities Sow started when he became the local government. He started to become a politician. It was short-lived, but he started activities for that. Gradually, Sow was going to be a vice president, and voila, handover. We move on. Sow became ill. Mohammed just saw an opening. Mohammed was always interested. As I said, Boasidi was not interested. It was proposed to him, and it fell. The minute things became difficult, Boa decided to distance himself from it. Sow was actually selected by Barrow, and it failed. Now, Mohammed always had, always wanted it. Let me do this quick. Mohammed wanted to have a political party. And this is not allegation, this is proof. If he challenged me, I have witnesses. I know people that he have contacted, people who sat in meetings once or twice, and they discussed this. And the person who was, he too had a Mandinka guy, who was, I forgot the name of the guy, he's passed away. I'm sorry, someone said to me, passed away, I'm not sure. He was I think he was one of his bank managers, a Mandinka guy, who he was using to do the same thing as Boa was doing, to try to get some Mandinka elites around to support him. I know the people, some of the Mandinka elites that this person contacted. I just forgot the name. But he was working for him at the bank. And to give you an evidence of this, during COVID, he flew with that person, this guy who was working for him. They flew from America because they were stranded in America. They had to hire a jet. And that jet they hired, some Gambians were chipping to get in, but Barrow's son was in there. But before COVID, something happened, tension happened between Mustafa Jaitaf and Mohammed Jah group. This is how, Tafanja will not come out to say it, but he fell off favor from Barrow. That's why the project that Mustafa Jai had at the airport, you will not hear about the project anymore. Because they went on accusing each other that, oh, this person want to have a political party, that person want to have a political party. And they were all kind of a marina. Okay, this guy says it's marina. I can't remember the name, but he was a banker working for Mohammed Jah. When this happened, Barrow was, called Mohammed Jah to say to him, I heard that you are going to form a political party, but if you do, I'm going to bankrupt your businesses. I am aware of your taxes and everything, I'm going to bankrupt it. I'll tell you this happened. It's a fact. You know what Mohammed Jah did? Mohammed Jah withdrew. People that he consulted and this thing, he did not even tell them he have withdrew his political decision. He had an opportunity when he flew in with Barrow's son. And this guy, I'm telling you, this banker that was recruiting Mandinka elites. They were quarantined together. They were quarantined together. Now, when they were quarantined together, Mohammed Jah rebuilt his relationship with Barrow. Then Barrow's son, started to be mentored by Jah. Under Jah, mentorship under Jah. And again, Jah fell out with a now prominent politician because of this political party thing. That he's a very close friend of him, I'm going to name the person, but he fell out because of his political ambitions. They fell out. But now, because of he's scared of Barrow going after him, he ran and built an alliance with Barrow. The minute they built that, Sidi Keita, who's now the finance, it is the influence of Jah that he became trade minister and finance. You see, where Jah goes in, they are like that. They are friends. A policy advisor or policy person, the wife of Muhammad Kah, cousins of Muhammad Jah. Muhammad Kah got appointed. The wife got appointed at the president's office. Muhammad Kah, at Switzerland or somewhere in Europe as an ambassador. Not only those appointments. Pura, the agency to police Mohammed Jah decided who goes there. Idi Job. Astaghfirullah. The name will come to me. He used to be at Standard Bank. Yusufa Job. He put Yusufa Job there. With the background of Yusufa Job, knowing that Yusufa Job was caught for corruption in the at the AU's these things, South Africa and everything, he appoint him as the guy at Pura, and he removed him from Pura when Yusufa Job gave a license to Alpha Barry and the former Africell guy to run to open a telecoms company. I think it's something by Basirumbai or something like that. He removed him there. And now who's there? Njoguba, another family member. Another family member. And another family member. Now it's Njoguba. Before Njoguba, it was Yusufa Job. Yusufa Job fell out with him. And he even visited Yusufa Job's home and insulted his mother for saying that he betrayed him. He alleges that Yusufa Job was paid $20,000 by Alpha Bari and this something by who was the head of CEO, head of official. People say that was not true. He was not paid, but he did allow them. They have the right to have it, but because of Yusufa Job was close with this Mr. Mbai because they studied in UK together doing their ACCA. This is the cabal we have around us. This is how influential. Now we saw after that, this CDC denying this story. CDC, the prominent CDC had in the establishment of QCell, Q radio, Q TV. Remember, there was a program, a very popular one, doing very well, where a panelist, it was hosted by Sirif Gomez. Daraji, this thing. Why did Daraji stop? Because of, Barrow, they see it as an opposition, or Barrow doesn't want it, they stop it. Sergio Brito interviews, I think, this Dr. Sisi and Coach Samba Jau together. They refused to air it. Sergio Brito did another interview or something like that. That's why Sergio Brito left QTV. QTV became a campaign arm for President Barrow. And contracts and other things, this is how they build up. This is why he's offended that we are the journalists are pointing to this thing. And I've talked about this. This is all news. It's no more. There's no succession planning now. He's trying to entrench himself now. I can tell you, this was all news. It stopped. I'll explain to you. Now, Mohammed Jah had a problem. The problem was he was easily undermined at Barrow for succession. Ahmad Ba. The other day you had Ahmad Ba trying to attack Mohammed Jah, but going through Dejao, saying, oh, Dejao gave license to QCell. He was trying to attack Mohammed Jah. And don't estimate, this guy, Ahmad Ba to Barrow. The APRC did not want Mohammed Jah. The Sarahuluk cabal within Barrow did not want Mohammed Jah because he's a competitor for them. The UDP, former UDP guys in NPP did not want Mohammed Jah. And this is why it became very unpopular. And they said to Barrow that you cannot trust this guy. He's arrogant. And Barrow knows about Mohammed Jah's arrogant. Some people call it confident, but they say you can't trust him. How they undermine that succession plan. Now, what's left with Mohammed Jah and Barrow is this business empire they build. And unless something change, Gamtel and Gamcel will be going to Mohammed Jah. This is why he went to China to pick for Mohammed Jah rather than going to China with a national development plan strategy to say that this is what we want for our private sector, this is what we want for public sector, we have a public sector arm of the telecoms, we want support from here. It's about Mohammed Jah is a good guy, Mohammed Jah, because whatever Mohammed Jah have, Barrow has, will get something out of it. That's why Mohammed Jah is building a multi-million, property for him. The former justice, Supreme Court judge, property. Now, that's how he fell out from it. Now, someone else came into the game. Yankuba Dabo, GRA. I'll keep on emphasizing the GRA because I don't want people to think it's Yankuba Dabo of UDP. No, Yankuba Dabo, GRA. After that, Mohammed Jah could not come in. Certain things I will not share because that might lead to, or it will not lead to, but I know my sources will be uncomfortable. But I can tell you, I could have tell you venues where meetings were held. A month, those meetings were held. Some of the people around those meetings for Yankuba Dabo's candidature. I would have to tell you. Some of it even happened outside the Gambia, within negotiations. Mohamed Dia and Yankuba Dabo are like this. Now they decided, okay, hence Mohamed Dia cannot get in, Yankuba Dabo GRA would get in. It was an easy sell to the UDP in the UDP, former UDP members in NPP. You see, it's sad that there's a tribal element in all this. There's a tribal element in all this. They were comfortable. For him, okay, he's okay, he will protect us. You see, that's why I said it's not about, they don't care about Barrow. If Barrow leaves office tomorrow, he will find out. Because these people are talking, if you talk to them, I mean, they're more angry with Barrow than anything else. You think they are happy with Sinijai's position and other people? I mean, Dr. Sise or Sabali? No. There's a big infighting in that. This is another reason Barrow don't want to be exposed. The Yankuba Dabo, these people accepted him, the UDP part of the group, NPP. Mohamed Dia, with this thing started to work with some wall of influencers. They had meetings where some, influential these things were invited. Mohamed Dia wasn't there, but I know who represents Mohamed Dia, trying to warm them up to Yankuba Dabo. Is someone we can trust, someone we can have. This is dangerous. And Barrow spoke to those former UDP within NPP. And she said, now you guys are happy. I have given you a Mandinka candidate. That's what Barrow said. Now you people are happy. This is about less than 3 months ago. I can't remember the exact month. At State House. And now you people are happy. And when he did that, there was another person he had to call to say, oh, now you guys are happy. Because they were angry with him. The candidate they were proposing, it is not their candidate they're comfortable with. But that's what gave him another problem. Let me check this name. I want to pronounce this name finally properly. Just 1 minute. I'll go deep. Okay, I'll try. I can't remember where I started. But this name is Haji Bani Sisoho. Yeah, I think it's Haji Bani Sisoho. I think he's the owner of Star FM. Star FM. I think he's the owner of Star FM. Let me just. Sorry, the person is Haji Bani Sisoho, who is very supporter. He control influential Sahule based for Barrow. But this is the same person Barrow illegally gave to request the fees for the timber export, which the National Audit Office have reported. But he's the person too that most petrol delivered to Nawek, and most of that petrol, that dirty petrol, that ensured most of the engines of Nawek today are not working, is through that person because of Barrow gave him the contract. Those people went against Yankuba Dabo, GRA. They say overnight our dead body, because for them it's not going to be good for them. They want Barrow to stay. Mohammed Ahmad Ba. It's Ahmad Ba who put the blow against I'll get to it. Sidinjai and APRC said no. We cannot trust him. Ahmad Ba took everything and went to Barrow and said, if you, apparently he produced evidence, or he gave convincing explanation to Barrow, to say that if you allow Yankuba Dabo GRA to succeed you, if he wins the elections, he is closer to UDP. He alleges, Ahmadba alleges, that he do sponsor UDP, that he's closer to UDP. And if he wins the elections, you'll be in trouble, because he's going to do to you what you did to UDP. He's going to use UDP to consolidate power. That frightened, that frightened, how to call it? This guy, Adam Barrow. And this is about a month ago. A month ago, so Yankuba Dabo GRA was top notch, thinking that all clear. I have evidence of people that were involved in a lot of things, and there's an evidence on plain sight if Gambians can see it. Some Gambians would, because I spoke to them about it, and that activities is no more on. You can see that person is no more doing any activity, because that person activity was sponsored by Yankuba Dabo, giving him contracts from GRA and going around and was mobilizing to convince Barrow that Yankuba Dabo is popular within, especially the UDP base. That's why I said UDP, be very careful. But because of Barrow have changed his mind, that person, you hardly see his activities anymore. Because of Barrow said to him, stop. Because of now, this is why Barrow now is standing up, trying to go on to Tata. There's no one he can trust. There's no one he can trust. Now he had tried to get ECOMIC to stay by following what Freetown did, following what Bissau did. People who just join in can listen to to understand that. Now that's why he's trying to get a hospital at State House so that they can sustain him as long as possible. Because he knew that if he loses, if he's out of power, he's in trouble. And there's no one he can trust that can come in to win the elections and to save him. Now, what supports this? What supports this? Again, this is another side of the fact, saying that these things have happened. I'm telling you, these things have happened. Now, what supports this? These things I've said here. Now, we all remembered when we went through this, when I had all this, before some of these things came up, what evidence do we have? About 2 years ago or so, Korite, the Banyan Council of Elders, or elders that goes to Barrow, or the president, whoever the president of Korite, they had a conversation and it was aired. Barrow said, "Man legitay madam." Now, if Barrow said, "Man legitay madam," now if a newspaper reported that as an exit strategy, why did the newspaper had that wrong? Again, something I forgot. Remember, I said this strategic role CDCC was playing for Mohamed Jah at QCell and NPP. At that time, everybody thought CDCC was an independent journalist, but he was hosting programs which was a campaign for NPP. But next minute, that CDCC turned up to be an NPP candidate, to the extent of the solid distance Barrow backed him. We all have witnessed, what transpired at Birkama to make sure CDCC became candidate. It was under the influence of Mohamed Jah, because he was trying to get one of his people to take a council. One of his people to take a council. When that failed, the minute that failed, CDCC became the administrative secretary. We have not all this. There's so much out there. We cannot just recall all this like that. But let's come to it. Barrow said to the Council of Elders, "Man legitay madam." Barrow said, if he leaves power, he's going to leave and he's going to do social. He called it social. I would have an office. He said he would have an office and do social and retire. He's going to build a retirement home. He said all this. When he said this, people were scratching their head. But he did say that. Only that is enough to say that the newspaper was right to report what they report. Because Barrow himself, not only that he had served 2 terms, but he have said this man legitimate them. What have changed? Barrow went on at O.J. Jallo's funeral. He went and visited at the O.J. Jallo's funeral. I have witnessed to this because I was told by someone who was there, and everybody was scratching and saying, what's wrong with this guy? You come into a funeral talking about politics. He's saying, man legite, man dama bay, hamga ngur ken du ko njit. Amen. Let me say, Cameron, you don't scrape the bottom of the barrel or whatever it is. And he explained that this is the former president, I forgot one of the countries that had 2 terms. He said, oh, when I met that guy recently, we met at the ECOWAS summit. He was already retired. One of those countries, and that part is the one that bleached his skin. And you know, when he was in Macky Sall, he was painting his dead skin, and then Macky Sall was, I forgot the country's name and the president. He said that he met this guy, and this guy said to him, oh, this is the best decision I have ever taken. I am so now, this thing, I'm taking my time, do this. And he said he won the Mo Abraham's award, or whatever it is. He was talking about his exit. We're at O.J. Jallo's funeral. We have witness to that. Why is it wrong again for the journalists to report this? Because now he doesn't want to leave. That's why I said from Sow to Bois excused himself. Bois never wanted it, but he was kind of a push to call it. To Mohammed Dia to Yankuba Dabo. Mohammed Dia is already out of it. Why he's angry about this again is because of this highlighting his relationship with Mohammed Dia. Now, that failed. He said this at O.J. Jallo's. We've seen that. We had evidence of that. That's not enough. Barrow government put an amendment bill. We already have a provision. We already have a provision for retired president, because that provision, that legislation was there because of Jammeh put it in when Jawara was retired. Finally accept a retirement, and they did a settlement. The ex-president was retired. It's there. But Jammeh did not access it because he would not qualify. But why did the government of Barrow, if they were not intending for Barrow to retire, decided to introduce an amendment bill to cater for everything Barrow has said to the Council of Elders? If you would say on a corridor day to the Council of Elders, this is what I want to do, and we see a policy, you put a policy in there to bring an amendment bill to cater for all those claims you made, and you put it on urgency. The bill was put on urgency. What's urgent? What's urgent? And people started to speculate, oh, you see, he wanted to bring Yahya Jammeh. It was nonsense. You see, he even created inviting Yahya Jammeh's family at State House. At times you think he's that stupid. He's not. And people say, you don't see, he invited Yahya Jammeh's people at State House. Remember, the reason, because of during the election, he visited Yahya Jammeh's this thing, but they wanted to visit him again. After how many, almost 2 years? No, he wanted to cloud people's judgment on his retirement. People say, well, the bill is for Yahya. I said to him, no, disregard that. Yahya Jammeh would have benefited from the existing one. Why do we want to? I said, look, stop this, because we heard him said it took a Banyan Council of Elders. This is all I want to do. And now that's, an emergency bill. And they passed the emergency bill. The other evidence we have, he started to build a retirement home on a stolen property, not a land, a property, value millions of dollars. The ex-Chief Justice building it. Who is building that? Mohammed Jah. They will not deny this. It's a fact. Now, how can you accuse the journalist for speculation? It's not speculating. It's responsible reporting. These are all sources. A source is not only a person telling you, but you source it from what the president have done and said. But again, as I said, it's ridiculous that now this that's why I said we have to defend the fundamental rights of the freedoms. Now, journalists have been arrested, and part of that arrested journalist, one of them is a young person who lived in the Gambia for over 30 years, apparently from Liberia. Now they are questioning his citizenship. Yahya Jammeh used to do that. How many people Yahya Jammeh arrested and decided to question their citizenship? The independent newspaper, all those Fuller boys were questioned for their citizenship, and others. It's the same what Yahya Jammeh does. Now they are charged under a law that Yahya Jammeh introduced, a law that he said in his manifesto that he's going to take out. A law he said when he came to power he's going to take it out within 300 days. Nothing done. He's using that law today. Why he's so desperate? Guys, I think we have put enough evidence on this. It's no speculation or anything to prove this. But again, it's ridiculous for either Drame to read I have to look at this. I have to look at this. Before I close, because I've already gone over time. But it's not bad to late at times, because this is important. Ida Drame said our client is saying that the nature and the ordinary meaning of these words and of the placing of the photograph immediately under the said words, which are highly defamatory of our client, is that, how can that be defamatory? Is that our client is no longer interested in being a president of the Gambia. It's disgraceful for Ida Drame even to represent that. We are in a democracy who have served 2 terms. Manela, even the interest of Barrow, he's not looking after. Who came to a transition saying that he should not be. You think a citizen doesn't have right to say that the president should not be interested in running again? This is what it's saying. Don't just see this as the journalist. This is about our fundamental freedom of speech. Most of us in the diaspora would not have spoken. If we had spoken this way, we would have been behind bars. Because the journalists have not even said anything. It should be a shame to say my client would not be interested. Why would he be interested? Gambians have the right to say that he should not be interested. The second one, he said that he does not intend to be flag bearer of the NPP in 2026. What's the bloody difference from not interested and not being a flag bearer? You see, that's why I said he is insisting trying to be a flag bearer. And this is up to Gambians. If we allow it, we will see it. Just as we failed to hold Jawara accountable, we didn't, that's why I said we should look at the spirit of the law. God bear me witness. If Jawara have left power and Andrew's Camara take over, I tell you Gambia would never have a coup d'etat. Because Andrew is going to improve on Jawara. Or if he fail, because we have somewhere to measure on his performance, he would have gone and opposition member would win. If Jawara have given it to Bibi Dawo, we will not have a coup d'etat. Because Bibi Dawo would have improved. If he fail, we have something to contrast it. That's why it's important for us to take this seriously. It's not about only the journalists' rights, it's our rights and our future and our democracy. He said again, she said again, that his party, NPP, cannot rely on what he tell people. Tell them. I tell you this. If I didn't want to compromise my sources, I can tell you, you name any person around the borough, I can tell you many people, many of them, so not everybody, that what have they sent behind borough. Nobody trusts him. Who would trust him? Who would trust him? Oh, you think Dr. Cisse trusts Barrow? No, Dr. Cisse is a wannabe elite. He would do anything. Or you think the special advisor that Barrow doesn't even trust to take abroad, who's running around, the former Secretary General running around like a green boy behind, a former Secretary General running around, vehicle of a president running around with the hypocritical Tasabayo or Cruz? You think that person believed the president after all they said they know, which we all know is right, true? You think Sehumbalo, who said the president is a slave, a full slave, should not, you think they believe in the president? Who believe in the president? That you tell the truth. I'm just saying, because he referred to the NPP. Someone who stood to say that anything you say in campaign doesn't mean anything. You go on, it's politics. Someone who said diplomacy is hypocrisy. Someone who said that I will not employ any of the former Yajame in Ebola. Within 3 months, he employed them at finance ministry because he wanted Mambure to do what he did to Yajame. He employed them at interiors, Sonko and others for what they did for Yajame. And I mean, almost everywhere else. Now we have Sidinjas and Farbakers and justice. Why would anybody? You think anybody would? You see, that's why I said it did. It's not only about Barrow, but expose the kind of people we have in that country. He's continuing to say that he is not a man of his words and cannot be trusted. You kidding me? Man of his words? Even Barrow will tell you I'm not a man of my words, and that's one thing that we can believe. Man of his words on what? 3 years? 2 times? You see, that's how ridiculous it is. It's intimidation, knowing that they will not go to court. Let them go to court and defend this. You think they're stupid enough to put this in court? No, they want to do just what they did to Madi Jabate. Madi Jabate did not have a day's court because they know it's all the other cases they lost is how bad it is. Even if a magistrate want to give it to them, it's difficult for the magistrate to justify it. That's how bad it is. Continue to say that he has chosen Mohammed Jah as his successor. Again, if he chooses Mohammed Jah as his successor, some quarters would say, thank God. They might think, that's not me. They might think, oh, at least Mohammed Jah is educated, at least Mohammed Jah have money. You know, that's what they think. And passing without integrity is just a passing without integrity. Some people say, oh, but it's an improvement from Barrow. Some people will take that take that measurement of the bar. Just as they say, oh, he's better than Jammeh. As if we as people, we elect people to feel sorry for us, to instead of kill us, just to slap us. That we elect people not to take billions, but to take millions from us. Abject poverty. It's just crazy. But some people say, at least he is respecting the principles of democracy. He's looking after the stability of this country and that. Is that a problem? That he have a successor in a democracy? Is working for us with someone to succeed him? To say that that he has handled that. There was a ceremony where his handing over took place. I mean, this is ridiculous. How can his handing over take place? How can his handing over take place? That NPP are unhappy with his decisions. We all know they are unhappy with many other things. Because it's not that they are unhappy because he's not doing the right thing for the country, for people. No, they are unhappy because that's some their expectations. Do you know I'll give you an example. Maimuna Balde. Maimuna Balde is mad. I'm just calling one Maimuna Balde because my source to that cannot be traced. And my source is comfortable. Maimuna Balde is mad because of Barrow promised that the husband would be made minister for agriculture and decided to give it to Demba Sabali. Maimuna Balde is mad. He's going on defaming Barrow and others, talking about his marital problems. I tell you that. You don't see them running around. They don't believe in him, they don't trust him. The day Barrow would know that, go and ask Macky Sall. Even President President Jawara. I will not name the name of this elderly person, he's no more. But some people might know, but I tell you, when President Jawara was in exile, few weeks, the minute he get to the UK, he was watching they recorded some of these programs that Jammeh was doing. And he saw someone behind Jammeh. And that person came and took the parole, came and spoke. And this person, this is very different. He said, when Jawara is really mad, he speaks Mandinka. He said, Jawara got up to the tele and pointing at the tele saying that is it this guy? Am I seeing this guy behind Jammeh? Am I seeing this guy coming out to support Jammeh? And this was the earliest part. Few months, he was shocked that that person was out there supporting Jammeh. That's why I said, there's a lesson for Barrow to learn. Guys, I've taken so much of time, but this is what I want to conclude here. I don't have time to summarize. Is we have to be very careful. This is the information here is in defense, in support, in solidarity with the journalists of the Voice newspaper, with the editor Musa S. Sharif and Modi J. Dabo. But again, the defense for the fundamental freedoms. This is not about them alone. This is about our democracy. This have the Barrow have shown his weaknesses. Barrow have shown his intentions. And this nonsense of being tolerant is just people who are dishonest selling it. They know he's not. You know, that's the sad part. People that know what they're saying is not true, they will say it. We have the evidence here. But this is for the future of the Gambia, for our stability. This is not about political parties or anybody single Gambian. This is about the future of Gambia. West Africa is already destabilized. We all seem witnessing what is happening in Bissau. And I predict this. He's trying to, dissolve parliament now, trying to go to parliamentary elections again. He knows he's going to lose. Now he's trying to rig the elections. And we know all where Bissau will go. They did not, they fought the Portuguese with inferior weapons. They fought and won. And they taught Nino Vera and others. We all witnessed that. And the destabilization of Bissau is going to affect us. Only Ghana and Senegal are on the trajectory of stability and progress. And Ghana, corruption is killing them. But they have the democracy moving, they might bring about change or whatever, whoever's listening. Nigeria is completely at the brink of even worse. A coup d'etat even would be better for Nigeria. Probably the resemblance of stability would be there. Why did I say even worse might be a civil war? Because of Tinubu, illegitimate president, and all the economic hardships and everything, and divisive politics and all these things. Well, that's why Tinubu was right not to even go to the UN, because it's tense. And if we lose Nigeria to a dictatorship, the military, or a civil war, Gambia, that's ECOWAS gone. We all know the rest, what's happening. Don't count any other ECOWAS country. Ivory Coast is at the brink. The guy is illegitimate sitting there. That's why we should be worried, Gambia. And we call up our political leaders, we call up our Gambians to take leadership and to their politicians, get to the civil society and others to make sure we hold our president accountable, make sure our democracy, competency of the democracy, and we get to elections without that being on the ballot box. If we allow it, we are just, we'll be the cause of our problems. Thank you very much, guys. We meet another time. Thank you.